Right, ladies and gents, YouTube. Hello, Mike. Well, with a lot of people here today. Keith's brother and brother-in-law and so forth. Barry's popped over. Just no time to do filming and no inclination to either. Getting a little bit dark now, so this ain't going to be a big video of the overnight or anything else like that. But quick look at the old setups. I'm going with a. I've got the old DPM thing over it for a moment, just to playing about a bit. Going on the old Van Gogh Banshee Chandler on ground dwelling tonight. Little chair set up. I've stuck another little tarp up there for just to stick it underneath, and what I'm going to be doing now is cooking me tea. I think Mike's doing his and Keith's doing his down there. Got given this little Coleman type stove there. A little play about with this, and tonight I'm having Jersey potatoes, whole button mushrooms, and these things from the old Tesco Tees Valley beef meatballs, all put into the old big pot. Get that hot, really nice and hot first. I'm going to whack my old meatballs in there. It's coming on. I'm just really getting used to using these stoves. That's it. Quite impressed with this, but yeah, this is our little camp set up. Not going to be doing a great deal of filming. Lights going now. Not a lot today, which most of them are, is just to get to know people. Anyway, we're all having scoff now. So take care, ladies and gents. May bring you back later, don't know. Probably be too dark. Anyway, take care. Here's the old stove I got given there. The old petrol stove. Cracking little bit of kick that is. Got my brew on the go there, and just finished my old trough there. Old mushrooms, new potatoes, and meatballs. Very nice. But I'm positively glamping it because I'm using a petrol cooker I got gifted by somebody at work. And Mike, are we hobo stoving it, are we?
Hobo stoving.
What's it? Nice little coals in there and that, mate, isn't it? That's very nice. That's all made by yourself with that as well, mate, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, you get a little bit of satisfaction from using them as well, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice to use something that you've toiled over.
And I wonder how many of them things have been bought and made into hobo stoves around the world from IKEA. Do you know what I mean?
This is a Tesco's one.
Oh, wow.
Not as upmarket as IKEA.
No. That's had a lot of crap anyway, mostly. Anyway. And okay, new one to the old woods there, mate.
Yep.
Again, you've got your little Trangia stove. You made that yourself as well. That's the same little spot there. Yeah. Quite nice. So there must be like production must have been like double just to keep the old bushcrafters in, mate. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's that nice stainless steel thing you got from IKEA and that as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. It's only a couple of £3 on that as well, mate.
Yeah.
Because I keep resisting going to like a billy can, you know.
Yeah.
You know, the one with the little lid inside and the pan inside and that, mate. Sort of 12-15 quid because I've got the old East German kit. Oh, I can't, you know, I can do everything with that. Again, probably should have put a ridge line, but well, it's just getting too dark now. But this case little setup. That's the first time you've had your TW hammock, mate, isn't it?
Yeah.
Exactly the same as my one, but this is like in the old deep bin material. And we've sort of.
Surprised that how comfortable it is.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't think like the way I am, I wouldn't be able to do the old sleeping on the floor. That's why there's all the padding on here.
Yeah. No.
But in that, yeah, definitely.
No, like I say, mate.
It's comfortable with my bed days.
Yeah. He's. I said you wanted to do a night out, and you know, whatever it is, we'll get it done, won't we? You know. No worries.
Absolutely.
And well, I say underneath that, I'll just rig this up just to have a little play about in case I wanted a little bit of covert. The old lightweight 410, but Van Gogh Banshee. I'm not going to wax lyrical because I'm, well, I sort of bought me sort of tent, got this nice, that's 50 quid off a guy off the old bushcrafting Facebook pages. So I just stuck that over there just to see what's the idea in that, see what it's like, so I can put it over and it will just come over one side and have a bit of a porchway there and that. But yeah, inside there, the old, great deal, my old silver blanket, the old army blow up inflatable mattress. First time I've ever used one of them. Had one of them for ages. But quite impressed with this old the old Banshee 200. Bugger loads of room in there. Tarp, and all I've done is, because I'm just using that, stuck up my old tarp. I'll throw my burger and a few bits under that. earlier on, never got done. That was going to be the project for just today, while I was waiting for Keith and his brother-in-law. Loads of people here today. They can't all do an overnight, but nice to meet a lot of people. And all we've done is talk gassing and you know, exchange bits and bobs. But I wanted to make a fire under there and you know, boil up some water in the billy can. Not happening today. Probably won't tomorrow anyway. That's another little project I'm going to do on another day. But, not be long before it's. I think it gets dark at least half hour in here before it does normally, mate, doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah, that's a fierce little cooker. Let's have to zoom in on that a bit. Fierce little cooker you got there. But yeah, I've just put the old lightweight tarp up there, and the idea would that be sort of like that, so I'd have a lot more working room under there, and that's almost there as it is. I suppose if I stuck a pole in and a bungee, which I will do later on, just give that a little bit more working room under there, because the idea would be use that and that alone. And if you go to any meets and so forth, like the old what do you call it, farm, if I can't get in the woods, I've got the ability to ground drill, if that makes sense. Right, you just look like in your element, so at home there, mate. Oh, look at that, look, excellent. I've got to come in a bit close. You get like 10 points there, mate. A good old British mess tin, mate. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever, really.
Do you know what? I've been using one of these for quite a while now.
Yeah.
I find they're so useful because, like, you know, you not only can you eat out of it, you can use it for cooking and everything.
Yeah. Not only that, they're cheap, aren't they? There we go. That's because I sent off a couple of bits, mate, and I've got one of these reflector stoves coming and that, but that's fucking going like a gorgeous, isn't it? Because that's another like billy can pot you've made there as well, mate. I need to get into that, don't I? That's like, I think they come as like the tea and coffee pots and that. Yeah, looking nice. Yeah, that's the job, mate. It don't cost a fortune. And your little gasification stove over there that you've made. Oh, quite impressed with that, mate. I hope so. It's going away nicely. Yeah, I'll brew down, mate. Whee. Anyway, yeah. The idea of the day wasn't to do a lot of filming. It was, well, meet and greet a few people. Like I say, Keith wants to do an overnighter, and we're getting that done.
Not too shabby at the moment.
Oh no, cool, mate.
We're getting there.
That's all about, because that's the first time you've had your hammock up and that, mate, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's all about a little bit of learning and that. And everybody puts a hammock up in a different way, don't they? Some sort of way.
Well, thanks to you guys, because I didn't have a clue.
No, well, that's what we said. Come down and
yeah, absolutely. This was
many
like
different ways.
To literally.
And we won't set us up properly until you wake up in the morning and you've had a good night's sleep. If we hear this doof in the night, I'm just gonna pretend I was dreaming and roll over, and you'll be like, Eddie, Mac.
I think I'm gonna have to get my basher up.
But yeah, I love sort of dusk, but sadly, really, you know, like for overnight, I don't mind coming out if it's cold. I don't even mind coming out and there's cold on the ground. But when it gets dark about 5 o'clock, what do you do? You know, let's just sit there with a Kindle in your hammock reading that, and that's probably it, really. Huh?
If you're on your own, I've done solos in the winter. And yeah, you're right. You know, there's not a lot to do, is it? Yeah. I must admit, in the late 90s, did try a bit of camping in Wales in the bad weather, and it was intentional, but I took the edge off it. I'd rather go. Wales is bad enough in good weather.
Well, there's a reason why the army trained there, mate.
Yeah.
In Dartmoor.
Yeah. Brecon Beacons, mate.
Oh yes. Some penny fan and doing the fan dance. Yes. Thank you very much, missus. Pocket full of Mars bars and you still fall over. No, I mean, you just got to keep, just even attempt doing that, keep chucking calories down your neck, down your neck, down your neck. And then you check your map, and guess what? You check your map again, and when you've gone, you check your map again. And always remember, sometimes it can be easier to run round the hill than over a hill. That was a good bit of advice.
You ain't kidding.
So you right there, mate?
You ever see,
You hanging alright?
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
You ever see those? Do you ever deal with the Gurkhas running that log race up there? Oh my life!
Yeah.
I know your lads were good at it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Everybody has their own little thing, mate, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, years ago.
I know, it's mental.
Yeah, all rubbish bag, isn't it? I'll tell you what, you know you've got a good oboe stove there, mate, and it's a good thing when it will just go down to that, and it's just the coals keeping that alight now, and keeping that warm till you get to it. It's a fucking nice bit of kit there. Right, anyway, I won't feel people eating because that's really rude. So, again, ladies and gents, I don't think it's going to be a great deal of filming on this one, but it was obviously nice to meet everybody early on and that, like, you know. Shame we couldn't stay over. It was a bit quiet because Barry's not here. Joey. I'll shut up now, will I? Barry, you missed. Right, anyway, take care. Right, ladies and gents, so the saddest part of an overnighter, as Mike's just said, is packing up. And right, mate, Mark, is we've got Keith over there. That's your first overnighter, really, Keith, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm glad I was in that.
You, but because no problems with your back though, you was alright last night, didn't you?
Yeah, that is definitely. If you've got back problems, that's definitely the way to go.
Yeah, it was warm enough. And I tried out the old Van Gogh Banshee. Like I say, I got that for 50 quid. And well, a little bit posh for me in this body. Got an old sleeping bag in there, an old DD one, and underneath I put the old full mat down and genuinely British Army, one of them blow up mattresses. Put them in there. I think it's more than adequate for one person. Load of space, put all your bits and bobs, and even had the old light hung up there. So I think as a design of a tent, initially when I first put it up I thought, blimey, it's a bit big, but it's not a two-man tent unless you're like really close and cuddly. But for one man, yeah. I mean, the next time you see this, I love black and green. However, I'm gonna just get a couple of spray cans and just jazz this up a little bit, just break up that big outline. Or, as you might have seen from earlier on, with this in filming, have a little poncho over that. Stuck my poncho up just to get all the kit underneath. That was a little project that we was waiting on till Keith, what I was doing, till Keith and brother-in-law and friends turned up, because there was a few people there. Not everybody stayed overnight, but I think there were several of us here at one point. It's nice to meet them because we're all going down to the Peppers meet. And getting that little gas stove, that's certainly going to be using that more and more often. And I've got a little metal plate down there. We put a little metal plate down there and just sat round here having a chat last night, didn't we? Gone 10 o'clock. Yeah, just hasn't sort of damaged anything. We'll get that sorted out. That will all be obviously gone soon. And take that off there and just do that, because I want to show you something now. Keith's knife, I just, you know when you get that feeling you want to nick something but you can't, innit? Yeah, those skills never die, I'd like. Just have a little knife, mate, and I can only really do this justice if I sit down. Just like knife porn. This is a knife Keith's made himself. Do this. Tripod, but never mind. Yeah, yeah. An absolutely brilliant sheath. And one of Keith's knives. I love the way, you know, when you've got it in your hand like that, it just fucking, that blade's at 100,
Well,
you know.
if you look at that, look how balanced that is.
And that was, well, you can see it's made out of an old Farrier's file. Absolutely brilliant bit of kit. Because every knife Keith makes is just different, isn't it? Like, I do love that, mate. And I'm going to be careful when I do this because that's got a beautiful little edge on it.
Yes, very sharp.
And his mate makes the sheaves. This is what they call a scout carry. But that is a beautiful bit of work there. Apparently, he did you a deal on the sheath or something, Steve? Yeah. Apparently, 1 or 2 stitches on the back, and I'd love to see. Well, hopefully I'm not going to offend anybody, but there was an old saying my mum used to use. A blind man would like to see that. If there's a bit of stitching gone astray there, I can't see it. But no, that's a cracking little knife, mate. I love that. When you got it in your hand like that, it's almost it's just really nice. I'll tell you what, you've even got a steel pummel at the back of that, mate. I've never seen you do that before.
Yeah,
every single one of your knives, mate, is always different. There's always something about. No, I'm not. I mean that in a complimentary way.
I think it's the artist in me instead of the engineer. You know what I mean? I just like to. I like to.
As you said to me that one time, right? You gives you a purpose now, doesn't it? You know, and it's not just sat at home, like you're out there as and when you can using the old skills, mate. That's a beautiful bit of kit. I don't suppose we've.
I haven't been out.
I don't know what happened to that little knife I was gonna. I'll give to you, mate. My little knife.
Was it? Oh, it's at the bottom of my pack. Yeah.
Just have a, because that'll be like, I just realised I haven't done a before and after on that, have I? There we go, we'll have a little thing on that. That's the old, okay, well, we should have run Mike was right, we should have run a ridge line underneath that, we will do next time. But that's where you kicked last time, mate. Yeah, good kick as well, didn't
you? Yeah. First time I've ever, I'll say this, I know I'm 61 now, but I will never ever sleep in a tent again. Not on the ground. I might on a bed, but not on the ground.
No, because you've been wanting to do an overnight for a while now, anyway, and just we've got, you know, get it done.
It's what's it is, and as I say, I haven't done anything like this since the turn of the century. Literally.
Well, that's it. You fucking.
Sounds such a long time.
But that's what it's all about, though, mate. Isn't it? You know, finding the right people and getting it done, right? And
I wouldn't have been able to get in here without Ed, and I wouldn't have been able to, and I don't think I'd be able to get out either. But
no, but that's all just part of getting things done, mate. Isn't it? That's what old soldiers do, isn't it? You know.
It's part of a brilliant weekend, actually.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
There's our little place. We're a bit messy now packing up, but what I'm going to do is just show you quickly a knife that Keith's going to work on me. So the end of an overnight, and it's quite good when everybody was here, but we haven't done much for him. I don't think anybody has, because you just spend. Well, that's the idea of it, you know, getting to know everybody and all that type of stuff. Get yourself fed and watered.
It's a shame that the other two couldn't stay. They would have enjoyed it immensely.
But they will next time, mate, won't they? They're well up for it and that.
They are kind of, they get things in their head and they do it.
Anyway, bring it back in a sec. Right, ladies and gents, here we see is a little knife. Came in a set that my old man bought, God, when I was still at school. We're talking in the 70s. Always been in my family. I used one of these knives, or another knife that came from that set, as a fishmonger's boy, you know, when I was like 15, before I left school and that type of stuff. Short story behind this, just a little bit of a history on it. When I left the army, which was a number of years ago, like mums do, they have a little bottom drawer, didn't they? They always give you a few bits and bobs, and I got given this knife, and it's always just kind of sat in the cutlery drawer. And when I first started, you know, when I talked about a year ago, looking at the old YouTube vids and people with their knives, I thought, I'll tell you what, you know, I'll try and have a do with something like that, because there's my hand, if that makes sense. Sort of make myself a sort of bushcrafting knife, because the steel's Sheffield steel. I mean, Keith said that's a nice bit of steel and that sort of stuff. Got a few bits on it, you know. This thing's been used for God knows how long. It's been used by my mum. I'm not too like sort of attached to anything that my dad had or got on that, but yeah, that was kind of been in my family for a long time. So I've had a little word with Keith, and he's going to take that away. I'm not worried about the scales, but it is got 3/4 there, not a full tang, and that's cool. I'm not going to be sort of bashing anything about too much with this, but Keith's going to take that away and a little project repurpose that for me, and I've just, you know, carte blanche to sort of do whatever you want. Again, one of the rivets is missing and bits and bobs, but you know, with Keith's skills, as you've seen with the other knife, that's going to be no problem whatsoever. So you know, I appreciate that, Keith, and you know, that's a bushcrafting knife that will come back. Look, you know, fair enough thickness and so forth. I like the shape of the blade and the length of the blade. Most of the old bushcraft knives come down a little bit, but you know, that's fair enough. But other than that, Keith, it's a carte blanche and to do whatever you want with that one, mate. And I know you're going to do a little spanky thing. Something else Mike Smith's, is this a Mike Smith invention? It is Mike Smith.
Well, I wouldn't say my invention.
Well, but bloody good idea. Just keep everything tight and tidy. It's like a loop of a webbing, and every now and again you've pulled it in and you've sewn a loop.
Yeah.
and it's all the way around. It's just like a tree hugger, mate, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that's how it's attached. Again, it will come down to any length that you want for a tree, because you've sewn the loops in it. A little carabiner, all the way down with the S hooks. So obviously, if that tree was wider, it'd just keep going and that'd hook onto there. And you put some Hiss hooks in there, mate, for the old your Bergen and all your bits coming all the way down there. Oh, that's a jacklaw there, mate. You know. Yeah, make sure that's there when you go home. You know, us Cockney twats are like. Do you mind if I sniff your leather? No, it's a cracking little idea, isn't it? Like, you know, Keith's just said, oh, he wants one of them, so I'll soon get one of them knocked up. But just for the want a bit of strapping, can make life a lot easier and keep it all tight and tidy, mate, and to hand. Because it's just little loops, so you can have as much stuff. There we go. That's the old 58 respirator pouch you got there, and that, yeah, it was the only thing that was nylon, that. But I tell you what though, mate, don't have them too near a fire, because they're just quite melty, if that makes sense. You can get the Cadora nylon ones, and oh, jacklaw. But no, that's not a bad little idea there, mate. Did you see that, or was it just something that's come from?
I don't know where I got it from. I mean, it's certainly, it's not something, as you say, that I've invented, but it's something that I have seen about, and I thought it sounds a good idea to do.
No, I certainly agree there, mate, yeah. It's nice having anything tight into hand.
It keeps it, as you say, I like keeping things off the floor if I can.
Yeah.
And
to hand, mate, yeah.
Yeah, and it exactly keeps everything to hand,
Yeah.
and you know where everything is.
Yeah, there it is. It's like a normal tree hugger, but you've just pulled it in and sewn down loops. Yeah. And the loops that you want, you've stuck the old S hooks in. Yeah, it's cracking. Because that could even be a branch there on that as well, and then you could, you know, hook things over. Yeah. I say a branch, I mean a decent sized twig. Right, well, comes the sad part of the day. Packing up, yeah, I need to get going on that as well. So all that'll be gone. So I'll get all that sorted. Yeah, I just want to say so a little before and after. There's a knife that Keith's gonna work his magic on. Well, Keith, so enjoy your first day overnight, mate.
Yep.
It's all gone tiggity-boo.
It's I'll sleep for a week like this. But yeah.
Right, anyway, I think probably I was too hot in that tent last night. I woke up, you know, my t-shirt's a bit clammy and sweaty, like. But it's probably because I had too much stuff underneath it. But yeah, for 50 quid, I'm quite happy with this Van Gogh Banshee 500. But it's all a bit too overt for me. I want to dull that down a little bit. Like I say, I'm going to do it, maybe have a poncho over with a porch coming over, or just a little bit of, not too much. Do a little bit of a spraying on that, creative sort of break up the outline camouflage. But yeah, I like the concept of the tent, and certainly that, like I said, it's been used, but nothing wrong with it. I've got it for 50 quid as opposed to, you know, double that and some more. So ladies and gents, I'll say, people say, oh, make sure you do some filming, but once you get here and people are here and you're chatting, and a big part of this is getting to know people and so forth. Thoroughly enjoyable evening, and like I say, Keith wanted a night out, and it happened. Right, I've got some catching up to do with the old packing up, so I'll see you all later, ladies and gents, and take care from Tightwad.